Hey everyone, if I look a little tired and disheveled in this video, it's because I'm doing it right before bed, so half of the time in this video I'm thinking about sleeping and how much I would like to be doing it right now, but I really wanted to get this video out because I'm worried I wouldn't have time or I would forget to do it. So this is my video response to Kal-El Prime's getting to know a Transformers fan, and I remember when this originally happened about a year or so ago, but I obviously didn't have a YouTube account then, so I'm very happy that he's kind of rebooting it so some of us can do the questions now. So the first question is, how long have I been a Transformers fan? I think the most legit answer to that is probably since the movie. Like I've said in a lot of my videos, I watched Beast Wars as a kid, but I didn't really like it. So, I have basically been a fan since, the movie, or kind of right before the movie. Like when I found out about the movie, that's when I decided I'm gonna like Transformers now, and it just caught on, and I just couldn't get, I couldn't get enough. So that's about that. Question 2. What is my earliest memory of Transformers? I'm kind of going to do a double answer for this. First, my very earliest memory of Transformers, but not really necessarily knowing that they were Transformers, was definitely Beast Wars. I remember waking up like Saturday morning and seeing Beast Wars and just not knowing what the crap was going on. I did not understand, but I vividly remember not understanding what was going on. But my earliest memory of Transformers, like knowing that it was Transformers and knowing that it was something I like, would probably have to be the movie. I just remember sitting in the theater, like almost convulsing because I was so excited about watching the movie. And the best memory has to be when Blackout first transforms. I just was like, I just did not know how to react. So it was like the coolest thing I had ever seen in my entire life. So question 3, who is my favorite Transformer of all time? This is kind of a hard question, mostly because I really like a lot of the characters, kind of on the same level, not like, oh my gosh, this one is so much better. But I'd say the character that I probably get the most excited about is actually probably Sunstreaker. And that's because, like, I like the Autobots because they're the good guys, and I like the Decepticons because usually the Decepticons have the way more interesting characterizations. And Sunstreaker is really, like, the best of both worlds. He is an Autobot, so he kind of stands for the good stuff, but he's more interested in what's going on with himself. He's not really that interested in, taking care of the humans or, anything like that. He just wants to beat up the Decepticons, but mostly he just cares about himself and his paint job. And I have to say, the way that he's being done in the IDW series totally threw me for a loop, but I really enjoy, even though it kind of makes me sad with the kind of stuff that's happened to him, but it just totally adds to my liking of the character. So yeah, Sunstreaker. Question 4. What is my most prized Transformers possession? This question kind of shows how lame I am, just as the rest of this video shows, but I have to say that my favorite Transformers possession, or my most prized, is definitely my Pepsi Prime. Oh, I know that's really, really lame. But I feel like I really have a legit reason. First of all, Pepsi Prime was like the second Transformer I got, and I actually got him from the bottle cap thing that Pepsi was doing the summer that the first Transformers movie came out. And I only entered like 3 bottle caps, but I was like, I want Pepsi Prime so bad. One, because I really didn't have any Transformers merchandise at that point, other than my lovely Deluxe Jazz. And I just thought he was cool, and, I never, ever, ever win anything from, bottle cap sweepstakes or anything. And I was sure that I didn't win him, and then a couple months later he arrived on my doorstep, and I was like, yes. But also, I have 2 little cousins who I'm trying to kind of get into Transformers, and one of them is actually really into it. And I remember every time I go to their house, I pull this guy out, and he's like, Optimus Prime, and I'm like, you're awesome. Someone give this child a cookie. So I just like having him so I can play with him with my cousins. Question 5, where in the world do you come from and live? Well, I was born in Pennsylvania. I actually lived for a long time near Scranton, for any of you Office fans. Just letting you know, it's really not that awesome. It kinda sucks. But couple years ago, I think 5 years ago, I moved to Indiana, so I am now surrounded by corn all the time. But next year I'm moving out to California for animation school, so that'll be way better. That actually kind of goes along with question 6. Outside of Transformers, what do I do with my life? Most of my time is most certainly eaten up by school. I'm an international baccalaureate diploma program student person, so I have a lot of homework and that takes up a lot of my time. But I'm also into theater. I do a lot of theater. I've been on stage quite a few times. Good for me, I guess. But the biggest thing, my other major passion, definitely has to be animation. Like I said, I'm going to be going next year to the California Institute of the Arts to study character animation, and I love anything having to do with animation. And I'm a big animation historian fan. I love a lot of the 40s and 50s cartoons. Man, anything having to do with animation, I love, and I cannot wait to study it next year. So, woohoo! Question 7. What is the origin of your YouTube screen name? Mostly I was just trying to think of a word that very generally had to do with Transformers, and it wasn't like a certain character or anything. And I'm like, Energon, that is in like every version of Transformers ever. And Gal, just because I'm a girl, and using the word girl is obviously not cool enough. Only Gal is cool enough for me, so. Question 8. Whose videos do I enjoy watching? Oh man, there's a lot of them. But I'll kind of just limit it to the very few, and that kind of stinks because there's a lot of people that I really like watching. But I definitely have to say, first of all, David, or Kal-El Prime. I totally enjoy watching his videos, and I definitely want to say him because he was one of the first YouTube Transformers reviewers that I've watched, and I've consistently watched his videos for a very, very long time, especially even before I got my screen name. And also, I'm a big Dr. Smoove fan. I find anything with him in it absolutely hilarious. I know that most of the videos that are out now, like the Optimus Prime cereal commercial things, aren't actually, like, he didn't make those, but he's like the funniest Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, all the other voices he does, person online. He's hilarious. So yeah, Dr. Smoove. Question 9. Which Transformer is my holy grail? Okay, this is another question that's going to show how totally lame I am. But since I don't have a lot of money to actually go out and buy the toys all the time, anytime I get my hands on anything, I'm really excited. But I have to say, what I kind of have been yearning to get my hands on, and again, this is really lame, is the G1 Insecticons. And I know that sounds really, really lame, but I am also a big Insecticons fan. They're, behind Sunstreaker a little bit, but they're also, pretty awesome. And I have always thought it'd be cool to have the G1 Insecticons. So someday, hopefully, I will own them. I'm not really planning on having them anytime soon, but hey, whatever. And question 10. If I could transform into anything, what would it be? Well, I know definitely straight off the top of my head, I would love to be anything that flies because I'm constantly late to things, and I, for some reason, think that if I could fly, I would be, like, totally on time to everything that I would need to be at. But I also think it'd be kind of cool to be a blender, because I think smoothies are tasty, so being a blender would be nice. I wouldn't actually have to go buy a blender, I could just bake my smoothies in myself. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I think I'll just go buy a blender and stick with turning into something that flies. But so, those are my answers to the Getting to Know a Transformers Fan. I kind of just realized how lame and not awesome I am through this, but that's okay. Now you can all discover how lame and not awesome I am through this. And I want to thank again Kal-El Prime for putting this up so the newbies on the YouTube would be able to answer the questions. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed this getting to know me thing, and I will see y'all later.